our son has completed college and is moving back home. They're not really excited about that part. They said we have space to build an ADU, although thinking we can use the equity to buy a duplex. So maybe they're living off property. Are there advantages to each of these?
I think so. Of course, the first thing I would comment on is our son has completed college, is moving back home. Well, maybe what they should have done is when the son was at college is buy a property there near the college, maybe the duplex, where that's part of this question, so that the son could be living in a property that they would own near the college. And then, of course, once the son graduates, then they could decide to either have the son continue there and he's got the other unit rented out, or if he does want to move back home, then they rent out both units and they've got the start of their investment property portfolio. But a couple of things about this question. If you have a space for an ADU, yeah, that's a great option. Now, the benefit of an ADU is that generally, obviously, it's going to be a lesser cost than buying a duplex. And, most ADUs, I mean, they're relatively small in size, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, maybe 3 at most. And so, yeah, there's definitely benefit and, an advantage of going the ADU route because it's simply going to be less cost in terms of the property. Now, that said, it's not like it's not without some challenges because you got to build the darn thing. Now, a lot of cities, local governments have set up in their building planning departments, pre-approved plans for different ADU floor plans. So that way you can choose an existing floor plan that the county, the local authority, or the city has posted on with their planning department. So you can basically off the shelf get the plans that theoretically should help you get that ADU built more quickly so that it actually can be used. So there is that. That's a little bit more work in terms of getting the ADU built. So you got a timing issue there. And then even if you get the ADU built and you put the son back from college in that, you've got some separation. There is some privacy, but it's not fully the case as if the son moves back but decides to live elsewhere, maybe nearby mom and dad, but not actually on their property. So, you can take that either way. Some folks will say, well, no, it's great. I want to be close to my kids, or the son wants to be close to his parents. And so they may like that, more close proximity to each other, the main house and the ADU. So that's more of a personal decision, more of a personal preference. I think that they could be better served in this particular case if they have the equity to get equity to, pull cash out in order to buy a duplex. I think that ultimately is a better option for one. Yeah, it's going to cost more to get, so that's true. Keep in mind, one of the benefits of buying a duplex is we can use projected rent from the other unit not being occupied, adding that to your qualifying income to help you meet a debt ratio. So from a qualifying standpoint, it can actually be helpful. But this way, what happens is, you get the son back home, if you will, but not back home into the house, but more maybe in the neighborhood, but in a separate property, entirely separate, not on the lot of the parents' home in an ADU, entirely separate property. And then buy that duplex, have the son occupy one, rent out the other to help defray the cost of the mortgage payment. And then over time, I mean, that son probably is going to want to move up, maybe gets married and want to have kids. And then there's going to come a point in time in the future where he's going to want to move. Well, here you go. You've already got the seed, the first of your investment property portfolio that you may build on. So son moves out, you rent out the other unit, it's fully rented out. And then the son, of course, goes on to buy another property, maybe start a family and so forth. So from that perspective, I would give the edge to go the duplex route because, one of the things about building an ADU, that's still going to be a property part of the existing lot for the parents' home. That's not something that you could easily sell separately from the main property, at least not without doing some lot division, lot line adjustments and so forth and so on. So from that perspective, long-term investment wise, I think the duplex is probably a better choice.
Somehow I can hear the mom saying, thank goodness, because I'm tired of doing his laundry.